Let's do. Wait, I gotta stop doing that.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's October 25th. I'm Ryan Miller. He's having a Twitter meltdown.
I did. I had a
Matt
little.
Amberg.
I had a little Twitter thing.
I haven't seen it yet. Are you okay?
Probably. I'm fine. It wasn't really a meltdown so much as it was just me having verbal diarrhea about creating things, building, making, being a maker of things.
Okay.
So it wasn't so much, like I said, not really.
Like in a good way, or you just listen to all you people who create stuff? You're garbage. I wish you would leave.
Well, yes, it's that, but that's...
Oh, no, I'm checking our ats.
Yeah,
sorry, wrong feed.
Which are all, they're still coming from me.
We have a complicated relationship.
Yeah, we don't agree.
About our complicated relationship.
Or about any of this. What are we doing?
I won't tell if you don't. Hey, did you watch another 7 horror movies this week?
I did. We are continuing on with the holiday. It's I think we're on the last week, right? This is it.
Wait, are we recording? We're recording.
It's only been 5 minutes and I am recording.
Okay.
Should I turn it off?
Sorry, everybody.
Well, I'm going to rapid fire the same way I did last week, pretending like we already talked about these.
Oh, okay.
If you actually
we're pretending like we forgot to record.
Yeah, if you actually have things that you want to say, now is not the time. Don't bring it up. Okay. You know what? Actually,
right.
let's just do this as a we're going to try a new format out, I think, for the podcast. I'm going to talk a whole bunch this episode, and you're not going to say anything. Then the next episode, I'm going to talk a whole bunch, but you are going to say, and then the following episode will reverse it. So I won't say anything. You'll talk. Then
I feel like you haven't watched any bad horror movies yet. Did you watch any bad horror movies this week? Finally, or
your mileage may vary. I liked everything I watched. If you're going to get into if you want to go into the bottom of the barrel in quality of what I watched, definitely The Mutilator.
Okay.
This is absolutely an idiotic story. Father killed mom, was going to kill the kid, didn't kill the kid. Now the kid's fine. Everything's fine. Dad's in an insane asylum. I'm just kidding. Dad's not dead or in an insane asylum. He's killing other kids. It's a weird, stupid movie. There's next to no, the plot means nothing. This is all ways to get into just gore. That's all it is. It's fun. It has some of those kind of,
animatronic.
No. It's
Dixie Chicks.
Oh, God, I can't think of.
Hobbesian metaphors.
I don't even know what that means. The Mutilator has one of those. It's kind of it was a proto slasher movie that wasn't a proto slasher. Like it's an early slasher, but it's not something that was necessarily like. You're not going to go and find this on the list of these are the movies that created the genre. The gore effects are pretty okay, but it's totally overacted. Everything is overdone here for a movie that funny enough, I think the highlight of this is that the movie is called The Mutilator only on home video. When it actually came out, it was called Fall Break, I think.
Legally Blonde. What?
Yeah, it was called something like Fall Break, and the best part about this flick is that when you turn it on, you've got a box that says The Mutilator, all the things say The Mutilator. You turn it on, and then the opening credits is an 80s style music video, like an intro for a TV show. Like think about, or even 90s, think about Step by Step. That whole stupid, awful introduction.
If you're trying to sell me on the bottom of the barrel nature of this film,
good, dude.
You're not doing a good job.
It's super fun. Love it. Yeah, the Mutilator. Check that out. Followed that one up with a classic Stephen King, Pet Cemetery. Been wanting to watch this one. I like this movie a lot. It's one of my favorite King stories. Overall, I think the characters are great. That shot about a quarter of the way through the movie, I guess, where the family is impacted by the little boy getting killed, is still just a great. It's shot really well. Mary Lambert filmed this movie beautifully. Like that, the kid, the semi barreling down the highway, and the family kind of just kind of oblivious to the little boy Gage, and then Gage rushing out there. And then that final scene, it's one of those things where it's been done before, where somebody gets hit by a car and then you only see, shoes tumbling or something. Sure. And a lot of times for me, that comes off really trite. It's just it's almost funny how it's done. And the way this is filmed here, it's not. It's done well. The standout of this movie to this day is still Fred Gwynne. Fred Gwynne he was amazing. He was the best Munster in the world. Second best judge ever in a movie. I don't want to talk about who first was. We won't get into that. Ghostbusters 2.
Judge Reinhold.
Judge, yes. And it also still has two scenes that just, they're chillingly disgusting and weird. And one is the sister sequence where if you've never seen Pet Cemetery,
I have never seen Pet Cemetery.
I'm not going to give you any more other than the sister sequences are haunting. Like, there's nothing
to this day.
There's nothing.
They hold up.
Yeah, there's nothing gory about them. It's the makeup work that was done, the way it was filmed, and just how sudden it kind of is. And then there's a movie with minimal gore. Actually, there's some good gore stuff when one of the ghosts kind of shows up, but it's not super gory. And there's one great scene, and it's to this day, whenever I'm barefoot, whenever I'm running around, it's the thing that I think about, and it
sounds like a tortured life.
And it's a great movie, man. It's a fun film. Pet Cemetery, well done.
Okay.
After Pet Cemetery, also great Ramones song. I watched I love this friggin' movie, man. We Are Still Here. I've talked about this one on the show before. Ted Gagan.
It sounds familiar.
Ted Gagan created this movie. It's got Barbara Crampton in it, Larry Fessenden. We Are Still Here is husband and wife are driving to a new house. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere in a snowy city somewhere. You're given the information that they lost their son, and they're trying to cope with it. She gets into the house, and the house feels weird, and she feels like her son is there, and there's ghosts, and it's an amazing ghost story. Has some fantastic, great gore shots at the end. It's got a great build up. It builds. And it's fast too. It's like 120. It's
hour 20.
Hour 20. Yeah. That's one that I would implore anybody who likes horror movies or ghost stories, really good ghost stories. Watch this before Halloween. Watch it on Halloween. It is incredible. It's a great movie. One of my favorites of the past decade, period. Top 10 horror movies, past decade.
Horror movies or movies?
Well, probably movies in general. I might, in the past decade, I'd probably still top 10 it. Top 20 minimum. Loved it.
All right. Sold.
Had to follow that one up with a good time. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
That seems funny.
Have you seen that?
I have not. No.
You should see this one too. It's another one that's got some good gore to it, but man...
That's Alan
Tudyk, and Tyler Labine. And I didn't realize this for whatever reason when I first watched it. I was like, I could not place the final girl, I guess, or the main girl in the movie. And then it dawned on me that it's Sri from 30 Rock.
No kidding,
yeah,
really.
And she's great.
I've seen her in literally nothing besides 30 Rock.
That's it. And she's totally great. She kills the part, and in fact,
she disappeared in 30 Rock after a while too. I remember I thought they did fun stuff with her character because she was, she was the foil to Tina Fey for a long time.
And so much. Yeah, I mean, she lasted. She was there for a while, and then
kind of disappeared. Didn't see her that much.
Well, I mean, I also feel like most of the writers' room kind of disappeared, with the exception of Judah Friedlander's character. Really, this is totally a horror comedy. It's a ridiculous movie about two, lack of better words, hillbillies that they've spent their life's fortune on their vacation cabin that is a just rundown pile of crap that they're going to fix up. They're going to go drink beer, and they're going to go fishing. And on the way, a whole bunch of kids are also going to go out to the woods, and they're doing their thing. And the line that really, really summarizes this movie is probably Tyler Labine saying, or Alan Tudyk saying, I don't know why these kids keep coming up to us and killing themselves, because it's a movie of folly after folly where Tucker and Dale don't realize that that these kids think they're these monsters and these killers, and they keep doing things that end up killing themselves. These kids just keep falling into things. They run into a branch, and
and they keep that going for a whole movie,
and it works. It works the entire time. You're just like, this is so dumb, and yet I'm so into it. Because it's especially funny when you look at it from their perspective. Like, you take the moment to watch it, because you're seeing it all kind of from Tucker and Dale's side. If you see it from their side, you can kind of see how if they were teenagers, this movie would be not a funny movie. This could be a total, like, serious horror movie where these two guys look crazy, look insane, if we never see them from, if we never get perspective on them, if they're treated like actual killers. This movie goes a totally different way.
I can see Tudyk carrying a film like that. Like, no problem. Like, he's done it.
He does it.
In a dozen films before.
That movie 100% lives or dies by Tucker and Dale. And those two guys have great chemistry. The writing is just on point for them. And they both play the parts perfectly, where they're both, neither of them are wicked smart. Tyler Labine's supposed to be kind of dumber, but he's kind of the dumber, like the dumber, more compassionate one, whereas Alan Tudyk is kind of the more intelligent but logical one, and it just, but it works so well. It's super funny. And another one that's great for Halloween. All right. Follow up to that was Cube, which the whole litany of Cube movies came out of Canada in the early 90s, and they actually kind of went on into the 2000s, I think. Maybe it was mid 90s. Crap, I don't remember. So Cube is a futuristic hellscape wherein people that committed some crime or something, they did something wrong, are put into a giant cube that is cubed out into multiple rooms, and the rooms are basically death rooms. So you have a group of people that are getting together. They found ways, like they got from their cube to somebody else's room, and then they kind of got together, and then they have to try and figure out which room in the cube to go through without getting killed. And can they get out? And it's just a really cool dystopian, bizarro prison film. And they actually did a really cool job building off of this in the future installments. They don't all hit, and some of them kind of, I think there's some retconning that goes on later on, but it's yeah.
There's some references to rooms that are spheres or something like that. That doesn't sound right.
It doesn't. That was it. And Dustin Hoffman shows up. And
remember the rhombus room?
I love the rhombus room, mommy. Let's go play in the rhombus room. So Cube is cool. It's a good flick. Watch it. I like it. I checked out Found Footage 3D in 2D.
Whoa. Does it even work?
It does. It's actually really fun. It does miss a little bit of the point. So Found Footage 3D is exactly what it sounds like. It's a found footage movie. But the conceit for this one is, why would a found footage movie be in 3D? Why would you ever have a found footage? Why would anybody make a horror movie in 3D? Why would you do that?
Because they bought one of those. They weren't really like they got caught up in the fad at the time. Like Sony was making 3D handhelds, and they're like, oh, I could use one of these for something. It'd be great. They bought it, and then the whole movie is about how they've made stupid decisions and end up dying in the end because it all started with buying one of those cameras because it's such a stupid technological purchase. And so
you're very, very close actually to the plot of this. So the whole plot of this is that question for every found. So this is a movie about a movie being made. Okay. So they know the Blair Witch is a movie, and the part of the point here is, we're going to make a found footage movie. We've got a great idea for this horror movie. And then the director, and this is all again, found footage. Everything about this movie is found footage. So it's found footage about a found footage movie. And the director is like, oh, I got a great idea. We're going to film it in 3D. And the writer is like, why would we make a found footage movie in 3D? Who is going out into the woods to do it in 3D? Who's shooting in 3D? Nobody's doing this in 3D. And this is where it goes. Where the kind of guy who's putting this whole thing together goes, figure it out. This is just how it's going to work. That's it. That's the handout. And then the rest of the movie is, as they're making this movie in this house, there are ghosts. There's something happening. And is it happening, or is it the guy screwing with them? And it works. I thought it was a really cool movie. It's a really fun idea. The all the parts were really well put together. It's a solid flick. I really enjoyed it. Totally cool movie. And then finally, the most exciting movie for me is another rewatch, but exciting because the sequel comes out. It came out yesterday, actually. Creep, starring Mark Duplass of the Duplass brothers, also known from the League. Creep was a movie I watched. Talked about this on the show too, probably about a year ago. It's a found footage movie, oddly enough. This one was done.
Don't just throw away your video cameras. Somebody's gonna die apparently if you use a camcorder for too long.
So Creep's conceit was the main character Joseph is dying of cancer, and and it's a comedy. Sorry. And it's a horror comedy. The cancer is the funny part.
Oh, a horror com.
Yeah. So he wants to film himself and his life so that he can leave it for his family. So he's taken time. His wife is pregnant and somewhere, and he's taken the time to go, and he hires this filmographer. The filmographer comes out, and he kind of screws with the filmographer, and it's a very, very unsettling movie. It's a movie that I know a lot of people I know won't watch it again. It's a movie that I know threw a lot of people off from Mark Duplass too. They were like, I can't see him as anything other than this really really awful character.
Dude, I'm already put off that you said they were messing with the filmographer.
Yeah,
that hits me.
Well, because it's just a filmographer.
Let him do his job.
No, you can't.
Actually, no. My favorite thing to do when I'm actually filming somebody is people will duck under the camera, like, "Oh, sorry to get in your shot," and I'm like, "No, you're who I'm filming. It's great." It's because everybody ducks under the camera, like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "No, I'm filming this thing. You're here at the thing.
You're
the thing. In the video. Oh, sorry. Here, let me." And they know because they never actually exit the frame either.
It's just
I just have like hours of footage of people like ducking just low enough that it's just their head passing by. This is cool.
So those were my horror movies for the week. I highly recommend Creep. I highly recommend We Are Still Here. And I highly recommend Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Those are all three movies that I would say, if you are looking for good horror movies that are very different from each other and very good for Halloween, those are the three I would pick.
Okay.
Go with it.
I watched Fate of the Furious again. My wife hadn't seen it yet, so I shepherded her through the experience.
You don't have to give me you don't have to make up excuses for why you watched.
Okay. The Rock and Jason Statham continue to be maybe the standouts. They're a lot of fun when they're on camera together and just their scenes in general. Charlize Theron still looks like a reject from The Matrix Reloaded and can hack cars from the 90s and stuff. Which the longest thought I had during this thing again was just that scene. I'm like, why doesn't that scene work for me? Because it's stupid. Like it's almost like the Escape from LA thing. Like, this is stupid. It's ridiculous. Like the suspension, it strains suspension of disbelief, but it's a Fast and Furious movie. So like that's
I'm good with
not really an excuse. So why do I still not like it? And I think it's still just ruined by the whole premise of like Dom's gone bad. Like Dom's working for the enemy and he's turned. Like, oh my gosh, what happened to Dom? Well, they've got something on him, or they've got it. Like, they should have, any other movie, they would have figured out that they had his kid held hostage.
That is like,
or at least his ex-girlfriend.
The minute I saw that preview for the movie, I'm like, okay, the credulity here, if his friends are already turned on him and I'm like, oh man, he's a bad, they're idiots. Like, that's the problem.
You're going to question his dedication to family?
To family? Every movie, the movie should just be called Family and Furious.
It's about family. It should be.
Man.
But yeah, so.
The Furious family.
It still wraps up good. The ending, like once they get to the point where he gets to, fix everything and be like, I wasn't ever bad. This is why it happened. Then everything's fine and it's good. But
so I have to wonder though if because you even mentioned it, you said it straight off the bat that The Rock and Jason Statham are your highlights. You gotta wonder, like, that's totally why that sounds like they're. It totally sounds like they're deep sixing,
spinning something off.
Yeah. It sounds like they've delayed the next Fast and the Furious movie so they could make a movie about The Rock and Jason Statham's characters.
You're kidding me. Seriously.
No, and who's it? Ludacris, I think, is Ludacris? Is he in the movies? Is it Ludacris?
Yeah.
I think it's Ludacris. He's all pissed about it.
There's
Common. It's not
Tyrese.
Common. Tyrese is the one that's all pissed off about it.
I think Common was in like 2 or something because Ludacris took some time off. I
just watched like 4 movies with Common.
Or maybe Ludacris
bizarrely.
was the replacement because the first dude went to jail. Ja Rule went to jail.
Yeah, see, I can't remember who's in the movies anymore.
I mean, of course he went to jail, but
Paul Walker is the only one I remember.
R.I.P. Paul Walker.
Brings up a good question though. Based on not just filmography but quality of filmography. Is Dave Bautista the better actor?
No.
Yeah, actor is the point here. Not star, but actor. I don't know.
No, he's Dave Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him act. I haven't seen him act yet, so I guess I don't know.
Yeah, you got to take a look at some of his movies other than Guardians, man. You got to watch the prequel stuff.
I've seen him in Guardians. I've seen him in Iron Monkey. I saw him in the short, the 2049 short.
Right there, that 2049 short. The only movie The Rock has done where I thought, man, he is as an actor. That movie, that's the movie I would point to as Faster. Every other movie, he's just an action star, and that's great. It works totally fine. But that movie, I think
Dave Bautista is still stilted though for me. All of his stuff
I like
doesn't.
him.
I like him.
I like him. I think I like him more than The Rock is my point. I think I do. I think I like him. I would definitely take him in. To be fair, Bautista also is trying to be a character actor. That's what he wants to do, whereas The Rock's doing what he wants to. The Rock wants to be the guy who, I'm going to open a movie called San Andreas. That's not going to be great, but people are going to pay bajillions of dollars to see it because I rock bottom the earth.
Yeah. Dave Bautista's shooting for the moon.
I think Bautista's putting in more effort and more time to becoming...
Taking greater chances.
To becoming a great character actor, whereas The Rock relies on being The Rock.
Yeah, agreed.
All right.
We'll see where it goes. Bautista Watch 2017.
Yeah. Next year, Bautista v. The Rock. Who comes out on top?
No, put them in a movie together where The Rock, they butt heads for some reason. That's got to be in the works.
Could be. I want to see The Rock being the bad guy. That's what I'm tired. I'm tired of him being.
That's why you watch Doom, for gosh sakes.
Except he's I like that movie though.
I also watched Police Story 2. You remember when I watched Police Story 1? Mm-hmm. And it was kind of this weird, tonally disparate movie.
Yes.
With really good fight scenes, but still kind of strange.
Yeah, because it didn't have quite the comedy, but every once in a while it would throw a gag in here that just doesn't fit.
It was strange. Hey, they totally made a sequel to that movie.
And it's exactly the same movie.
It's very similar. There's at first, they throw a fight scene in there that's actually super cool. It's some good stuff in there, some good scenes, and I'm like, all right, this is already better. We're already doing okay. And then it majorly takes its time. No, that does not continue.
No. Then the rest of the movie happens. I mean,
yeah, they're like, we got that out of the way. Now we can focus on his relationship with his girlfriend. And the music is it's a sequel. They at the beginning, I was like, oh man, they're really taking their time with this first act because there is a story, there's a bomb threat, and then the whole movie is basically trying to figure out who's making the bomb threat. There's some other recurring bad guys where most of the fight scenes come from because they don't actually find the guys doing the bombs until later. But it takes its time through the first act, and then it takes its time through the rest of the movie, kind of, and then it has a great ending. Mm-hmm. So.
It sounds to me like Police Story 1 and 2 are mostly a skip situation and find a different Jackie Chan movie that you like better.
I mean, I'm conflicted because I'm trying not to let my Western sensibilities ruin
Too late.
the viewing experience here. And obviously this struck a chord with a ton of people, so I'm trying to give it a pass. And also, you can't watch an old movie. These are movies from the 80s too. You gotta get in the period, think about what the U.S. was doing during the 80s. What popular cinema was like then.
That's all I do. In fact, I put myself
in the 80s, not the 70s.
I put myself in the 70s, and I'm like, man, the 80s are going to be so weird.
It's not bad. I will not say it's bad. It's just it's hard to find the tone. I can't help but just be a little annoyed at how much they go back to his relationship with his girlfriend. It doesn't seem that important.
Man, you want a police story?
Right?
I'm here for cop drama.
But like he'll be in the middle of like listening to the wiretap, on these guys, and they've got kind of into the whole team thing, and somebody will come and be like, "Oh, your girlfriend's here," and he'll just leave and go talk to, and go into that for a while with the music. And
well,
I'm like,
I mean, think about the movie The Rock. What would have happened if his girlfriend just showed up? Oh yeah, I gotta leave The Rock and go talk to her.
Yeah, no. He was the prom queen.
He
was the prom
yes,
queen.
Nicolas Cage.
That's the line from my next movie. Yeah, I was the prom queen.
Yes. Really?
Police Story 3 coming up. Actually got way more police stories to go that I didn't even know about. Like I got 1, 2, and 3, and they've been on my list, but there's like 7 more.
I just have to assume they're using old footage at this point.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole bunch of recuts and like B-roll from like 1,000 other movies that he's done. They're like, yeah, we can fit this together.
It's just a compilation of all the, because this is also the franchise where he made popular the outtakes during the end credits.
Yeah.
So it's just a compilation of those, actually. Police Story 7.
I didn't mention this because it's totally irrelevant to horror movies, but in relation to what you were watching, I did watch Kung Pao Enter the Fist this past week, which is possibly the best martial arts satire parody ever.
I haven't seen that in
so funny.
Too long. I remember, oh man, that was a weird thing still when it came out. Like, it wasn't what I expected it to be, but it was still good. But then it was like, what was that? And then it wasn't.
It is.
But it was.
Yeah.
It is.
You get older and it's funnier again.
Mm. So, Police Story 2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good show. Good show. Do you want video games now? Do we do? Is that,
yeah, I want.
Okay.
Video games.
Okay. It's a video game show. Madden did their update. They actually the Madden Classic was this past weekend. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I watched it a little bit because they were doing free drops. It's the EA sponsored Madden tournament that various places around the country you could go to. Best Buys or whatever stores were participating. You play against people. They go up the ladder, and then eventually, if you're the best player for that region, whatever, you go to the Madden Classic and you play. And it was cool. It's fun.
So this isn't something you can just log in online and participate in. Oh,
no.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's cool. I actually really enjoy watching the Madden Classic. It was kind of a fun thing to watch.
Okay.
I like football.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's just weird because it's like I like watching football, but it's fun to see how the armchair quarterbacks actually play the game because they are. That's ostensibly what every Madden player is. You're an armchair quarterback going, I could have done better than that, but it was cool to watch. And in doing so, they also released a Halloween update. It's called the Most Feared update. Where what they've done is, and they did this, I guess, before too.
The football's a pumpkin.
Basically, some players are considered scary strong or scary tall, and they've always they're players that are well-known players in the league or former players that were just kind of considered, those are guys you don't want to play against, man. I don't want to play against that guy. It's that thing. So they decided to turn it into a Halloween event where on certain days, if you're playing in Madden Ultimate Team with these guys in your lineup and you're playing that particular thing, their stats are all like boosted tremendously because they're most feared. They're scary. So whatever.
All right.
It's fun.
Halloween.
It's cool. I like Halloween events. They're neat.
Sure.
I played some Cuphead and some Battle Royale. So which one do you? Because we played both of them. So
let's Battle Royale first.
So Battle Royale, played some of that. So I just like it. I like that game. we had a good stream last week. We got down to fourth, I think, overall. Where there
place.
Were fourth
for one of them.
Yeah, and
duos.
The downside being that if I wasn't an idiot, we may have gone further, but I decided to rush in like a tit.
Whatever.
Oh no, that was.
I walked around that corner first.
I went and watched the replay on that from your perspective. No, I was an idiot. I killed us because I ran right into that. You followed me right in.
I feel like I went around. Yeah.
No.
That would seem to be the main thing we had the hardest problem with was
killing the other guys.
Yeah, like what? I don't understand how that works.
How do you kill him? What's guns?
Well, first of all, we couldn't, like, we kept forgetting about the second guy, like, permanently.
Dude.
Like, we'd kill one guy and be like, we did it! And then his buddy would come around and just double kill us. We'd be like, dang it, there's always another guy! And then we got that kind of down, and I feel like we got far. And then we knew where they were because the circle was tiny.
Yeah.
So we were walking right to where they were going to be. And if you walked around that corner first, I didn't notice because I still went.
That's the problem.
We both just
right there,
around the corner.
We just diagnosed the whole issue. I went around the corner, you didn't notice, and then you went around the corner. Because I did. I took a wide berth around that corner, and they just looked at me and went bang, bang. And I was down.
I had a freaking grenade launcher that we got from some dude we shot earlier.
Yeah,
like,
and
we were set up pretty nicely.
We were. And what bums me out is that in that particular game, too, part of the problem I had was I saw all the buildings that the guys were making, but there were a whole bunch of buildings on top of a mountain. And I assumed they had already gone up there, which is why I just bolted around the corner. And of course I bolted around the corner and then they're right there.
But we were the fourth team. So there was 3 other teams that we should have been thinking about because those guys were
there 3
up
other
there.
Teams? I think there were only 3 other people. I think it was those 2 and that guy.
Well, I guess maybe, yeah. No, there was...
Because it doesn't matter if
the team that killed us was full, so there was 2 guys.
Yeah, and I think there was a dude up above them, the last guy, the guy that wins. I think it was just him. Because he...
Could have been. Yeah, I mean, it's all... We can go back and watch it. In
Yeah.
fact, go back and watch it. Not you. Anybody else is listening, because it's fairly entertaining. We kept the stream going until the guy who killed me lost to the last guy, so...
Yeah. It was
that
good.
was entertaining.
And then Cuphead, man,
and then Cuphead.
Yes, Cuphead. I did finish World 3. I'm now on World 4. I've got the first fight against King Dice. I think that's his name, the Dice King. King Dice?
I don't know. I kind of wish it was King Die.
That would have been better, yeah. So I will say that World 3 they totally had a map. I hated it. There was no, even after finishing
what was the battle?
Did not. That was one I didn't like it at all.
The mermaid?
Yeah, and it was the mermaid. I hated it. That was a bad battle. Like, that was a bad fight for me. I don't know if it was like overall. I ended up doing it, and I ended up doing it like it was funny because we were chatting at the time, and I got through it without getting hit the entire way through, which I wasn't intending on doing. But even after finishing that, I was so aggravated with it. It was so annoying. I didn't like that battle, and finished out World 3. And
definitely one of the hardest battles, whether you like it or not, I guess.
And maybe
you're having to manage.
That could have been it.
There's an infinite enemy aspect, which I guess there's some of those in other ones, but she's doing an attack that you have to avoid while in the place where the easiest place to avoid it is where these other enemies are.
Right.
So you have to manage those guys so you have a space to go when she does her attack, which if hits you, it'll freeze you. And then you have to wiggle the stick to get free, but it's barely enough time. That's usually obviously where you go down. But yeah, like it or not, it's one of the hardest.
And that was the thing is I am not a fan of mechanics that stop you from doing anything. And that's like that one stops you immediately. And on top of that, it stops you to the point where if you get hit, you're dead. So that super sucks. In a game like this, I understand why they added the mechanic because it's a pisser and it's totally the point. It's not a mechanic I like in any game, and this game doesn't get a pass for how good it is. Everything else has been fine up until that point. That level sours that level. Doesn't sour the game, just that level sucks.
I need to go on record as disagreeing, but please.
No, like I said, it doesn't ruin the rest of the game. Just I don't like that one section.
I just need to go on record.
Okay.
Lest I say anything bad about Cuphead.
No, that's fine. King Dice, I am not enjoying as well. This one is actually has to do with the difficulty because I know how to beat him. Like I see it. The thing that I don't like about this one is actually how long the loading takes when you have to restart it. And when you have to restart it 20, 30, 40 times,
and you do,
it gets on my nerves. The thing with King Dice is unlike every other level where you're just kind of going and you're constantly in the thing and you're constantly fighting. This one, you go into a room and he has a dice and you're on a craps table and he throws a dice. You jump on the dice, which moves the marker X amount of
1
spaces.
to 3 spaces. Yeah.
And then you have to do a fight. So then you do that a couple of times, and that could be. There are
9 numbers on the board, 3 safe spaces, and some of them will give you hearts if you land on them.
And 3 of them will give you hearts. But it is very.
Those hearts do not count towards your A rank, though.
It is,
by the way,
it is very possible, very easy, to end up having to do all 9 of those, not by purpose. So,
dude, that die is not hard to figure out.
No, that's the thing. I've figured the die out, and I will go, okay, I'm going to get the first heart, the second heart, the third heart, and then I almost always, every single time, hit the replay, and every time I hit like every one I haven't hit. It's like I don't know what the deal is.
Dude, if you get to the safe space, because yes, the second to last, the last space is you trigger King Dice and you have to fight him. The space before that is start over. You go all the way back to the beginning.
4 times! I've done all of it!
Once you've cleared a space, if you land on it again, you just roll again. So you're not having to fight any of the same enemies, but if you don't clear them all out to begin with, which you shouldn't really anyway, if you get to the safe space before the start over space, all you have to do is not hit 1.
And shockingly...
that die is not hard to figure out.
No, and shockingly, like, Beth has seen me...
Did she start asking you if you do that on purpose? That's my wife's favorite. Like, when I
throw the controller?
Do something that's obviously stupid from like, an outsider's perspective, she'll look at me and be like, did you do that on purpose? Like, are you trying to do? No, I'm not.
No, I'm definitely freaking not trying to hit 1.
Okay, before I do want to say though, I think what they did with that final area, it's actually not the final area. I'm guessing you fight the devil after this. I know you fight the devil after this. I've seen the picture. But this I love because I feel like, from what I know of boss rush games, a lot of times what they'll do at the end or the boss before the final boss is just give you all of the bosses you fought in a row, right? Am I crazy?
It sounds legit. It really does seem like everything I've ever seen. But
I don't know a lot about boss rush games, so I could be wrong, but I feel like that's something that's traditionally done in that. They've completely done something beautiful here, in my opinion, hard or not. They've given you 9 brand new bosses, and they're all kind of mini bosses. Like, they all have one stage to them. Mm-hmm. So you're not going through they're not as hard as any of the other ones that you've gotten up to this point.
There is one,
including
there is seriously one in there though that actually
they're hard, but they're not multi-stage.
No. But there is one in there that I absolutely dread playing. Like every time.
There's 3 in there that I absolutely dread. The one of them's the very first one, the freaking drinks. I can't. When the dude spills the.
Because I'm looking at the olive, and then the thing is coming, and then he's
and then the domino.
I loved it. Domino.
Rough one?
I blow through that. The domino.
Really?
No problem. Yeah,
I can now, but at
problem.
first it was killing
No,
me.
I'm still. I still have problems with the stupid drinks. Those drinks, man.
And then the horse, the horse in the UFO or something.
That took me a little while to figure out, and then I remembered that I can make myself small, and that makes it like 1,000 times easier.
Yeah. No, I kept getting hit because I tried to go under the present that he throws at you, and then I would get hit by the other thing that comes from underneath. Once I started avoiding that by going above it, then I had enough room between the other thing to dodge.
Yeah, that's one where I just basically went small as soon as I see. So I was keeping track of the Reaper on the horse. As soon as he would come on screen, I would just make myself small and just fly right underneath the present and go right past him, and he'd shoot up. And I was
doing that, and I'd still get hit every now and then.
Oh man, yeah, no, that one no problem. I was actually again for first couple tries could not until I remembered to make myself small, and then the flying things, and that was the thing. Even the flying things all make sense and all click for me when I remember the small thing. That mermaid one can still go to hell.
But I love what they did with that area because it gives you all the mini bosses. Yeah. The way it's set up, especially when you get the feel of the dice, is that you only have to play 3 of those things if you do it right until you get to the final boss, King Dice, which is freaking impossible for the longest time. Like because he throws it's the same thing. He's a mini boss. Like, he doesn't have multiple stages. He just throws cards at you. But the way they've lined up the cards, you have to parry off of. It's random, but every 2 or 3. But sometimes they're so far apart from another, and there's no, again, I guess, room for error.
Yeah.
Like the cards are very close together. So if you don't parry that right card, or if you try to go at it diagonally, you're going to hit one of the other cards before you get to the right card. Also, I just had a hard time getting the parry. Like I don't know if it wanted it sooner than not, so I would fall through the card and get hit.
Nope. Same.
Could not get it. This was last night actually, at like 2 a.m. I stayed up till 2 a.m.
Of course. Well, because that's what you do.
Well, it's a video game crack. This is one of the video game cracks. Like sleep goes away. I could have stayed up all night. Like there's no sleep.
Yeah, no, I got
in this.
I got angry, so I quit.
Well, that helps, I guess. But I would get to him and I couldn't do it. So finally I was like, I bet there is an achievement, or at least I want to see what all these enemies are. So I played it to complete all of the enemies, like to all of the bosses.
Yeah.
Like you. So I did that. I finally got to the point, it took me a couple tries, but then I still got to where I killed all the bosses and he was the last guy I had to do. So I hit the guide button because I wanted to take a picture, a screenshot of the screen with all the bosses clear. And here I go to fight King Dice. And when I hit the guide, apparently it triggered something because it had automatically put me offline because there was an update for the Xbox. The new Dash is rolling out. I got it a while ago on the preview program, but I hit that and it's like, yep, time for an update. And you can't, like, now my choices are stay offline and continue to play, which if there's an achievement for this thing, or heaven forbid, this is the time I actually beat King Dice, that thing pops offline or doesn't pop at all, the achievement, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I died immediately, so it didn't really matter. But still, it was scary and annoying for a second. And then today, I had some extra time, so I went back to it, got up to King Dice, still died a bunch of times, like just couldn't get it, and then finally got it without getting hit. Did King Dice without one hit. I did the jump over the card things, parry to get through his attack thing twice in a row. That's all I had to do, and then that was enough for the charge shot to finish him off.
Were you using the charge shot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing does make things go pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah,
I kept screwing up also on King Dice because I would let go of the button before it was fully charged because I want to get as much shots as possible.
Right.
And then that would just screw me because I have to go through more of his attacks.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not bothered by the difficulty level on this particular one. I am actively annoyed by how long it takes to reset.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, it's because you have to restart. So you start up, then there's the break, then you get the first dice, then you go in, then you're back out, then you do the second dice, and it's such a laborious process.
Oh yeah. Several times I got so tired of playing the dice, like 'cause I have it down, like I can 90% of the time I can get the number I want,
right?
But it still takes so long that I get freaking tired of it. So I just hit the dice right away, and then I found out if you hit it immediately,
it's a 1.
You get 1 every time. Yeah. So that,
except in the second part where if you hit it immediately, it's a 3 or a 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, because it changes directions. Like it counts down 1 to 3 and 3 to 1.
I think that's why, and because I think I usually get a 2 or a 3 on the depending on the moment he clips or he clicks.
I found the thing is you look at the number that comes right after the number you want. So that's the number that's farthest away from the number you want. And that's when you start moving. So as soon, if it's 1, 2, 3 and I want the 3, as soon as the 1 comes on screen, like it rotates on screen, I start moving and I get in the air, and then you can do a little bit more timing after that, but usually if it's just a smooth motion, you'll get the 3 every time.
I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's a cool battle, and I agree with you 110% on that. Like the fact that there are 9 totally different mini bosses, and that they're some of the designs on them fantastic. Like in particular, the cigar and like the really cool. the cigarettes that have wings on them and stuff. Like so, also, yeah, it's like so perfect for the 30s. It's great. So that's me. I'm done. I don't play games anymore.
Us. This is us.
Starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Bruce Willis.
What else? I'm still chipping away at Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I got to be close. I got all our upgrades. I think I'm doing the thing where I do all the side stuff before I move on to the next story beat. So it's taking a while. By the time I finish the story, like the whole game's going to be 100%.
How to play video games the Ryan way.
We'll talk about that when I'm done. I think I'm done with DDR Universe for now.
Are your legs super buff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. A lot.
All right, good.
I got through the 2 modes. There's like a game mode and then there's a quest mode. Those are done. They're weird. Of course. So game mode just normal, I guess. But the last mode is a bunch of challenges. You do certain amount of challenges for one category, and some of them are total complete garbage. So I'm probably gonna give up on them. Like there's an option you can turn on in the options, actually.
Weird.
To make the quarter notes and eighth, you differentiate colors between the quarters, eighths, sixteenths, etc. Whatever. If it's not on the beat or however it works. There are challenges where it asks you not to hit quarter notes or whatever, or eighth notes, and then turns off the ability to make them different colors. So I just gotta know, and then it's on difficult or expert or whatever the difficulty level is, which is another thing. There's like 5 difficulty levels. I have no idea what medium is.
Very easy.
And I have a feeling it's super hard anyways. So
well, no, super hard is very easy. Very easy is medium.
And then some there's like both, like there's a beginner and a basic.
Oh sure.
But I think they're the same.
No. Beginners are for people who've never moved.
Basic stands for basically the hardest difficulty.
That's correct. Yes, that's actually the most difficult. Basically impossible.
So whatever. I've got a couple ideas. I might
Dude, I'm excited.
play the song somewhere else where I can see which notes are which, and then play back that video while I'm doing it, like on the, and then at the same time, and then I can. We'll see. And then I played Star Fox 2.
Yay!
Just a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, the whole thing of
One
it.
run, or no, 2 runs, I guess.
The whole movie or whole movie, whole game?
I did the whole movie. Yeah, it was great. It's a surprise ending. That's a cool game. I streamed it, and it'll be up maybe by the time you hear this. I don't know. But it's completely run based. Like it's different from the first game in that like you have a set path. You're kind of trying to manage a map in real time. I think you tuned in for some of it, but you didn't have sound. So
I didn't have sound. Yeah, so I watched everything, but I couldn't hear anything.
There's an overworld map that kind of looks similar to the other one, except there's elements that are moving on it, and you pretty much have free roam. Like you hit A in a direction, and he flies to that point. And if he touches anything along the way, it triggers a battle. So you're having to manage, like, there are missiles and fighters being shot at your base. So you're trying to manage those while you're going to kill the 2 big ships. I forget what they call them, planet destroyers or something like that. I don't know. They got big guns on them.
Big gunship.
Many percents of damage to your home base.
Star destroyers.
Yes, basically. And it's a cross between a Star Destroyer and a Death Star, basically.
Death Star, you mean?
Death Star Destroyer.
That's it. We figured it out.
But you're trying to do that. You get certain points for not dying because you have a wingman, and he's basically your life. If you die, you get to continue, but just as the other wingman. So if you don't use that, you get extra points. You get extra points for some other things. But basically, it seems like most of the points you get will be for speed, because I got bottom of the barrel when I died because the planet died the first time. But then I did everything. I think I got 100% on almost everything except for one thing. I can't remember what that thing was. But I still only got like a middle grade. I can't remember what it was. Like a C, except it wasn't. I don't remember how basically at that point it was all speed. So it sounds like you got to be pretty freaking fast to run through that thing.
You know what? Tom Cruise, get yourself a Val Kilmer and you'll find the need for speed.
Yeah. Mavericks. But it's super cool. Like I like Star Fox 2. I don't know
it looked good.
Back, but
it did. It looked really cool. It looked really coal. It's still definitely not enough to make me want to buy a Super NES thing, but it's cool.
I mean, I'm happy.
You're like, now I'm already over. I've already thrown the thing out in the garbage.
Well, now, I mean, I'm definitely gonna sell this thing because with the Super NT coming out.
Oh yeah, then maybe I'll buy yours.
Hey, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, I will give you $13.
We should keep moving. Some of these things might take some time. Yeah. One of these things might take some
Nothing
time.
is going to take time, but let's get rid of all the stuff that won't take less.
Okay, so quick stuff. Nintendo had some news about the Switch. There was an update 4.0 for the Switch. They introduced video capture, transferring save files, and GameCube controller support, which they didn't even mention that last one apparently.
Yeah, which is huge for people that love GameCubes. because people love their GameCube
True.
controller, man.
True. Yes. No. This basically just fanned the flames of. There were some rumors a long time ago about them doing a GameCube virtual console, or whenever the virtual console for the Switch comes out, having GameCube support. And they had some stupid quote that was like, "We're thinking about doing something like GameCube support."
It'll probably be
like that.
Yeah, support for the GameCube. Very different.
But the video capture is a bit more like a save thing on the Xbox. Does 30 seconds and apparently isn't great. So
sure.
Work to come. Microsoft came out with a bunch of info on the Xbox One X. Gears 4 is getting a huge update. They made a trailer for all the enhanced features that they got there. 60 frames per second on everything, because that's the game that I want more frames of.
You definitely, yo.
And Halo the Master Chief Collection, they're doing a whole bunch. They had a weird, what was the quote?
We knew it was crap when it came out originally, so we're going to try and not make it crap when it comes out a second time.
They said in addition to the enhanced features, there's going to be fixes, improvements, and upgrades to the core game to help bring it forward and modernize many of the game's systems to take advantage of Xbox platform advancements since its original launch. And then they actually mentioned matchmaking by name at some point. Not in the way that, hey, remember when our game couldn't matchmake? More in the way of...
We're going to have it. It'll be included in this one.
Yes, we better mention it.
Oh, man.
And then they came out that they've got some technique. Actually, they named it too after the engineer. The Hutchie method that's going to introduce updates for Xbox 360 games that will also make them enhanced for the Xbox One. And so far, Halo 3, Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, and the original Assassin's Creed are the only ones on the list.
Cool. I mean,
cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Less cool, Lego Dimensions has ended development.
Hey!
Or maybe, actually, no, I'm fine. Whatever.
Okay. This coming out now, is there a little bit of kind of a little sigh of relief that I mean, it sounded like as much as you enjoy the Lego games, that the game, that the packs that they were putting out were really hit or miss. And I don't know. I mean,
the quality definitely dipped.
Yeah,
for season. I don't remember
2.
what the last one was.
2 because they were going to do 3, and then they finished season 2, and they're basically saying there is no season 3 now.
Yeah, that's totally. I mean, I do really like Lego Dimensions. I do really like a lot of the stuff they did for it. Yeah, some of the packs were misses. But some of the kits that they got to do because of this, right. Like all the 80s stuff, like the Gremlin stuff and the
Goonies,
the one-offs, Goonies, stuff like that.
Yeah,
totally worth it. Like you may have never seen those otherwise. Basically,
well, and that was my statement at the beginning when you actually got it, was like, you and I both knew that this is not going to last forever, and that Toys to Life was never going to be a sustainable market, but that you were going to get some really cool Lego sets out of it. And that's, I mean, and you're a Lego fan. I'm looking at your Legos behind you right now.
I do have them.
So
that's Slave 1.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So this next thing, there's two things. The first thing we need to mention is this NeoGAF thing. And I don't want to downplay any of it at all. Like the crux is that the guy behind NeoGAF, Evil Lore, I guess, and his real name is out there. But there was, as part of this whole #MeToo thing going on, where women are encouraged to share, for all the people out there trying to minimize abuse or, traumatic events in women's lives. I think who started it, but the idea being that if everybody tweeted Me Too who had experienced some harassment or abuse in the past, that everybody else would get an idea for how widespread and deep this runs. So this was going on, and in conjunction with that, a girl came out as having been on a trip with the dude who runs NeoGAF. She was sick, took a shower, dude hopped in the shower with her, and she said no, and he left, and then other things. But basically, it's that allegation that's shaking things up both at NeoGAF and kind of just around the gaming community yet again. So
yeah, and the fascinating kind of thing with NeoGAF is a whole mess of the moderators and users kind of revolted, and a bunch of the moderators resigned. A bunch of users logged on and said, ban me, I don't care. They did reopen the forums yesterday morning, and Evil Orb posted his response, which of course is going to be I didn't do anything.
Outright denial.
Yeah.
But, actually, worse than outright denial. He said that she has mental issues.
Right. Yeah. So it's
it was actually worse than that.
He goes into a victim blaming thing, and in doing so, he pissed off people even more. Right? He didn't. It doesn't sound like he built any bridges with that, and he certainly didn't mend any fences.
Well, especially since his overall answer when he came back online was, "Let's get this back to games." Like basically just excising any political thought or whatever you might call this from the site, and being like, "We're just about games," which.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to try and do. And I guess, some of the mods are trying to find another way around and go into a different, maybe create a different forum. So, the Me Too thing is, if you haven't looked at it, take a look at it. Because the reality is, every woman has been harassed. Like that's the reality. It's like there's not a woman that's been harassed. That has not been every woman has been harassed. All of them in some way.
And for all the Me Too's out there, there's that's not all of them. That will never be all of them.
No, no. And it was nice, I guess, on some level to see the community at NeoGAF who has oftentimes been kind of pinned as being uber aggressive.
It's a weird place. Yeah,
and
like it's
and being there have absolutely been notes of people comparing it, whether justly or not, to 4chan. I think not. It's not a valid comparison, but there was something nice to see a mass majority of people posting there and not standing for it.
Well, and Evil Lore kind of stands at the top of that. Like he's very emblematic of that community. Like he's openly anti-Gamergate, but and that's part of the reason this is an issue, has a history of statements he's made that are just super gross. The way he talks still, the point of all of this is still that's it's just not cool, man. Like, doesn't matter. Like, that's when I say I don't want to belabor it, but I don't want to sell it short. Like that, it's because that's all it is. Like, it's still, there's just no excuse. Like, what are you going to say? Just don't do that. Like, don't be like that.
No, and I mean, it is a really, like, in every situation, it's a black and white issue. It's not like this is consent is a very simple thing to get. You either, it's yes or no. Like, that's that. Right? If you don't know, it's right there in the words "I don't know." No.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, and don't say words. Just shut up for a second.
Maybe. It's almost hard to go into the next thing because it's not as important. Like, you shouldn't be as riled up about this thing.
But we're going to be way more riled up, right?
But it's very heartbreaking also. It's which
in
again,
a very
stupid. It's just
very different, very different way.
Yes, stupid. So this is okay. Before the show, maybe right before we recorded. Actually, yeah, because we recorded late last week. So this is semi-old news, but EA shut down Visceral. You've probably heard about that. The heartbreaker here is the statement that they gave in conjunction with this, which is just like the most depressing thing that's come out of a company to me in so long. Look at this. Okay, so this is their statement. Part of their statement says, and this is coming from Patrick Söderlund. Which is probably pronounced differently.
It's Soderland.
But he says, quote, "Our Visceral Studio has been developing an action-adventure title set in the Star Wars universe." This is the game that Amy Hennig was heading, right?
Amy Hennig. Keep that in mind. Uncharted.
She did all the Uncharted stuff. So this was the Uncharted Star Wars game, basically. Back to the quote, says, "In its current form, it was shaping up to be a story-based linear adventure game."
Cool.
Throughout the development process, we have been testing the game concept with players, listening to the feedback about what and how they want to play, and closely tracking fundamental shifts in the marketplace. It has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we needed to pivot the design. We will maintain the stunning visuals, authenticity of the Star Wars universe, and focus on bringing a Star Wars story to life. Importantly, we are shifting the game to be a broader experience that allows for more variety and player agency, leaning into the capabilities of our Frostbite engine and reimagining central elements of the game to give players a Star Wars adventure of greater depth and breadth to explore.
Yeah.
Just ripping it out.
Yeah, and here is the part of this quote.
Video game heart.
Here's the part of this quote that is I think the most telling. Okay.
It's the moment it's ripped out. This is the very moment. Go ahead. It's the moment like their hand has punctured my chest cavity. It's already inside my chest cavity. This is the point where the heart is removed.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're at the same point, but this is it's
definitely.
This line where it says, throughout the development process, we have been testing the game concept with players, listening to the feedback about what and how they want to play, and this is the line, and closely tracking fundamental shifts in the marketplace. Yeah. Now, the thing that punctuates for me all of this is a quote from Rockstar, because Rockstar also had a little bit of news this week explaining to Game Informer, the director of design Imran Sarwar from Rockstar told Game Informer why there was no single player DLC. And their claim is, it's not really a conscious decision, it's just what happened. We'd love to do more single player add-ons for games in the future, which is just nonsense. They go on to ostensibly point out that the idea for GTA Online and bringing everybody together to play GTA is more important than single player to them. And they even go to the point of stating that
yeah, I mean, and for me, these are literally, let's say I take what they've said at face value. Like, sure, I mean, if I believe any company, I believe Rockstar that it wasn't a conscious decision, because they oftentimes seem like they do whatever the heck they want, but also are very calculated in a lot of what they do. So I mean, whatever. But even if I take what they say at face value, we have EA saying very much the opposite. Like, this is a calculated decision to not produce a story-based linear adventure game, as they put it. And Rockstar here saying that, oh, we just didn't think about it. You know, GTA Online was making so much money, it was kind of like, that's why waste our time over there? And
that's it right there. That's it. But the point Rockstar gets to here is that, so they go out of their way to say that so many things took time, and then it was the single player took, it was so many games. Then they had to do the Xbox One remaster. Then they had to fix online, and then Heist, and then they had people working on Red Dead Redemption 2. So Rockstar's answer here is, well, we're just keeping a team to do the online stuff, and everybody else is working on Red Dead Redemption 2. Great, okay. They make hand over fist in their online arena. Right. So when Electronic Arts sees GTA 5 as a game sold well on the 360, sold well on the Xbox One, outsells everything in regards to the game itself in their shark cards. EA says, closely tracking fundamental shifts in the marketplace, it has become clear to deliver an experience players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time. We needed to pivot the design. No, this is not a players will come back and enjoy for a long time. This is we're pivoting the design because we see the money right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the crux of these open world games like this that can do shark cards or loot crates or any of that stuff. And that's what I hear with this. With EA, we're going to shut down Visceral because we want more money. So we're going to get rid of a whole bunch of developers. We're going to move them to different projects, and we're going to just dump an entire studio. Then we're going to change a single player game where loot crates and all that nonsense has no place, shouldn't be implemented in any way that could be meaningful to the game. Why would we do that? Let's get rid of the single player aspect and just make it ostensibly an MMO or something like The Division, which is ostensibly an MMO. And what I have a feeling we're going to get is The Division, but from Star Wars. I don't want that.
Yeah, no, that's what we're talking about here. Like, we're talking about the way this is all headed, and it's the difference between a single player game, a really cool, narrative crafted adventure, and something that could go on forever. Like a Destiny, like a Division. They're producing content for it. A lot of people are enjoying it. Like that's fine. I'm not coming out against that, saying nobody should. But when companies like EA are making conscious decisions like about Star Wars, man, like Star Wars can't even survive in this world, right? It's to the point where they think a single player Star Wars isn't worth it enough to them to make it. Like even the Star Wars game has to be a Destiny or a Division, has to have ongoing hooks. It has to have something that will allow them to monetize it for as long as possible.
Right.
Even the Star Wars. And
that's just a trash thing. It's a
tragedy.
It's a garbage perspective to have. From it's anti-consumer in my opinion. It's totally anti-consumer.
It is in that the consumer wouldn't necessarily agree with you.
No, right. But I still think that it is ultimately an anti-consumer thing, even for the people that are enjoying it. How many, you can go on to, a Destiny's subreddit, and again, Reddit not being necessarily the bastion of anything, but you can go on and see all these people saying, I spent this amount of money and I hate everything I've gotten out of it. The regret.
Yeah, there's those people too.
That buyer's remorse is very real, and it's happening more and more. And what really needs to happen here is the one thing that never will happen in the gaming industry, and that is simply that gamers and purchasers, consumers need to say, you know what? As much as I want a game like this, these tactics that you're using are no good, and we're not going to buy it. That's what needs to happen. People need to not pre-order things. And that's just,
pre-order is a whole nother thing. No, I mean, that's why I don't want to come out and say, if you like games like this, you're a bad person or something.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like, we've gotten to the place where a company like EA has so much invested in games like this. Games cost so much to make now. It's not worth it to them to make something that's seemingly a one and done. They're writing off single player DLC. Apparently they're like, hasn't been working out enough for us. Not that it hasn't been working out, and maybe that's the thing here, is that it's not working out enough. Right. A single player Star Wars game would be profitable.
I'm sure it would be. And
but
I should
it's
say,
not profitable enough for them is kind of the heartbreaker. They're like, it has to be something that we can really get some money out of. And a lot of people are going to enjoy that. People are still playing freaking Old Republic MMO thing.
People are still playing Destiny 1. I mean, Destiny 1 actually has microtransactions and crap in them. And I shouldn't say
people are still playing Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's the mind bottler. And I shouldn't say the game creators, the people making the games, are the people that should be at fault here. It's not. It's the management. It's totally the management chains, and it's the people running the company. It's not the developers themselves.
Wherever Amy Hennig ends up, and I don't think they've said specifically. I bet you she didn't make this decision.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and there have been in multiple developers. The developer for what's it called, Spec Ops, years ago came out and totally trashed 2K for forcing multiplayer down their throat when they had a series that was single player and strong at that in the story, and then their multiplayer gets totally. It's crap. It's garbage. It gets pushed down their throat, and then the game suffers for it because people only see the multiplayer, and it's just so dumb. And for EA to come out with something like that, it was the best thing I could hear in the world. Which great, EA, congratulations. Whatever that game is, odds are I'm not going to get it, and odds are I'm definitely not going to pre-order it. But you know what game is getting a pre-order, even though I don't have the freaking money for it? Wolfenstein 2 is getting a pre-order because simply Machine Games who created the game, Tommy Tortzen Bjork said his studio is doing the exact opposite, because while Electronic Arts is prioritizing open world games for monetization, their actual response was, quote, "The only way we can create these super immersive narrative experiences is if we can solely focus on single player. Having a multiplayer component in this work process would just dilute it all. That's the danger if you try to do two things at once. Bam! Perfect! That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to support that game because I do want single player content.
And that's not to say that it's something every developer can do, or even an argument or a discussion every developer can have.
No, but developers that are making games of this size need to come out and say, you are dumb. Straight up. That's what needs to happen.
You're speaking to the exact issue, because these developers, I mean, Visceral was EA owned. Like, right. They still, and the industry has been moving in that direction. Basically,
games as a service is the future.
Yeah, it is. Game,
and it sucks.
It totally is. And AAA companies, that's where they're going. That's where they see dollar signs, and they'll probably make some pretty good to great experiences. Mm-hmm. I don't want to play games that go on forever. It's never appealed to me. It still doesn't appeal to me. Like I said, I had fun with Destiny 1, which by all accounts didn't go on forever. But, had it been doing gangbusters, Destiny 2 probably wouldn't be out right now, So yeah, I mean, we're looking to other avenues for the games we want now, basically. Like the games, the single player focused games are just going to get bigger in the indie space, basically. They have to. People that get this and are going to continue to understand it, like Machine Games.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's
running out of conviction as I go.
No, this is it. No, what we're going to run into is all AAA games. No, I shouldn't say that. AAA as a general genre or idea or version or whatever you want to call it, that is going ultimately to games as a service. There will of course be developers like Machine Games that are, single player will never fully die in AAA. There will always be something here and there.
Don't listen to anybody who's saying that.
But whether or not we actually get a decent amount of them and good quality ones, I don't know. I think we are going to end up falling back to more indie devs now, because those devs are able to work by themselves. They're able to work on their idea and not have to worry about getting 700 people, 7,000 people to play together at once, Yeah.
So they're companies that aren't concerned about making $1 billion, literally. This will only make several hundred million. Can we really afford to only make several hundred million on this thing? So,
right. And I guess that kind of leads into just the perfect transition to the lightning round.
That's it. Okay. Hey, these are things that, if you can believe it, we haven't talked about after several hours, however long this podcast is. So I'm just going to mention, it's one thing. I'm going to mention it, and Matt's going to say something. It'll be hilarious. We'll move on. Are you ready, Matt?
Yeah, 30 seconds on the clock. Let's do it. Delegate from Iceland, I love you.
Destiny 2's Trials of the Nine has been canceled for 2 weeks because the Monty Python silly walk emote lets players walk through walls.
I mean, the
kind of writes itself.
Headlines, it writes itself. Yeah, I'm hoping that the rest of Destiny gets canceled due to the Monty Python silly walk.
That's it. Perfect score. Hey, yesterday, speaking of which, Destiny 2 came out on PC. So
cool.
What are you waiting for?
Literally anything else.
Just Dance 2018?
I'd rather play it.
Okay. And a bunch of original Xbox games. That thing finally launched. The backwards compatibility for... Are you ready? I'm curious as to any of your experience with any of these games. Black?
I did not play that one, but I heard it's real good.
Blood Rain 2?
I played the first one. I didn't like it.
Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge?
I never got into flight games.
Dead to Rights?
Nah, it was okay.
Ninja Gaiden Black?
I never got into those games either. They're gory and fun, but I just can't...
Fusion Frenzy.
Fusion Frenzy is like Frampton Comes Alive. It was issued to you if you got a console at one point.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Love that. That's a good one.
But the game or just the act?
No comment.
Okay. The King of Fighters Neo Wave.
Nope.
Prince of Persia Sands of Time.
That was a good one.
Psychonauts.
The good one.
Red Faction 2.
That was a pretty good one.
Sid Meier's Pirates. There's an exclamation point.
I don't like Sid Meier.
And Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, KOTOR, baby. Do it.
The likes of which will never happen again. Now that we've established that.
Indeed. Tomorrow, Fortnitemares comes out. That's the Halloween event. There's all sorts of skins and cool nonsense. So check that out. That's mostly for the PvE stuff. They did mention that there will be some Battle Royale stuff, but they didn't say what it was.
Okay.
And then on Friday, Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, and Wolfenstein 2, Das Nun Colossus. Yeah.
That's
I want
pretty good Friday.
2 out of 3 of those games are games I want.
You going to go Odyssey?
I want it. I'm not getting it, but I'm going to get Wolfenstein 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta support the supporters. Support the supporters.
And as for normally we would stream tomorrow, I am not going to be around. I'm going out on a date to see Shaun of the Dead in the theaters for Halloween at a party thing.
Cool.
Ryan, are you gonna do something?
I'll stream Cuphead by myself.
That sounds great. Games
We'll see.
Games we play next week. Cuphead, I will play it, and Fortnite.
We'll talk about Cuphead again. Yeah, in fact, quite possibly the end of Cuphead. We will talk about
the end of it's a long time coming.
So I'm interested to see what we'll have to say. We've said so much already.
We'll see which one of us gets to it and which one doesn't. Because I'm guessing.
With any luck, I'll finish Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Nice.
That could be fun.
That could be fun, but let's not quote you on that. Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
I believe you. Jump in the line. Rock your body in time. 0 hit points.